Time's wasting, Mr. Miles.
Yeah, I'm coming.
We're nearly done, you know.
And then what?
You'll see. Maybe they'll even let you watch when it begins. It's not as terrible as you think.
Look, I know you're not gonna let me leave. So why not tell me what's going on? Humor me.
I'm not an idiot, Mr. Miles. I think you've already learned quite a bit.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course not.
All right, let me ask you something else then.
Yes?
Some of the stuff I'm seeing in the Animus, sometimes it seems wrong. Untrue, like the history is off somehow. It doesn't...
It doesn't what, Mr. Miles? Match up with what you read on an online encyclopedia? What your high school history teacher taught you? Let me ask you something. Do these supposed experts have access to secret knowledge, kept hidden from the rest of us?
There are books, letters, documents, all sorts of source material from back then. Some of it seems to contradict what the Animus is showing me.
Anyone can write a book, and they can put whatever they want on its pages. Anything. Used to be, we thought the world was flat.
Some people still do.
Yes, and they publish books about it. Or that the moon landing was a hoax. I believe there's also a book claims the world was created in 7 days. A bestseller, too.
Where's this going, Doc?
The point, I suppose, is that you shouldn't trust everything you hear, everything you read. What's that your ancestors said? Nothing is true?
Everything is permitted.
Yes, exactly. It's part of what makes the Animus so spectacular. There's no room for misinterpretation.
There's always room.
Touché, Mr. Miles. Now that I've answered your question, can we begin?
What's up, ladies and gents? CenterStrain01, your host. Welcome back to more Assassin's Creed walkthrough. This is memory block sequence number 6. Sorry for no commentary in the previous video. I had to get that out there pretty fast, and there really wasn't too much to explain, but we will have some commentary in this video. So sit back, relax, become a Patreon, follow me, CenterStrain01, on all the social medias, and it's go time.
My student, we have much to discuss. We are close, Altair. Robert de Sable is now all that stands between us and victory. It is his mouth gives the orders. His hand pays the gold. With him dies the knowledge of the Templar treasure and any threat it might pose.
I still don't understand how a simple bit of treasure could cause so much chaos.
The Peace of Eden is temptation given form. Merely look at what it's done to Robert. Once he tasted of its power, the thing consumed him. He saw not a dangerous weapon to be destroyed, but a tool. One that would help him realize his life's ambition.
He dreamed of power then?
Yes and no. He dreamed, still dreams, like us, of peace.
But this is a man who sought to see the Holy Land consumed by war.
No, Altair. How can you not see when you're the one that opened my eyes to this?
What do you mean?
What do he and his followers want? A world in which all men are united. I do not despise his goal. I share it. But I take issue with the means. Peace is something to be learned, to be understood, to be embraced.
He would force it.
And rob us of our free will in the process.
Strange, to think of him in this way.
Never harbor hate for your victims, Altair. Such thoughts are poison, and will cloud your judgment.
Could he not be convinced, then, to end his mad quest?
I spoke to him in my way, through you. What was each killing if not a message? But he has chosen to ignore us.
Then there's only one thing left to do.
Jerusalem is where you faced him first. It's where you'll find him now. Let this final offering lend you strength. Go, Altair. It's time to finish this.
Safety and peace, Altair.
Upon you as well, brother.
Seems fate has a funny way with things.
So it's true then. Robert de Sable is in Jerusalem.
I've seen the Knights myself.
Only misfortune follows that man. If he's here, it's because he intends ill. I won't give him the chance to act.
Do not let vengeance cloud your thoughts, brother. We both know no good can come of that.
I have not forgotten. You have nothing to fear. I do not seek revenge, but knowledge.
Truly you are not the man I once knew.
My work has taught me many things, revealed secrets to me. But there are still pieces of this puzzle I do not possess.
What do you mean?
All the men I've laid to rest have worked together, united by this man. Robert has designs upon the land. This much I know for certain. But how and why, when and where, these things remain out of reach.
Crusaders and Saracens working together?
They are none of these things, but something else. Templars.
The Templars are a part of the Crusader army.
Or so they'd like King Richard to believe. No, their only allegiance is to Robert de Sable and some mad idea that they will stop the war.
You spin a strange tale.
You have no idea, Malik. But tell me where they've been seen. I should be after him before he slips away.
3 places I can say for certain. West of here, near both a guard tower and a hospital. And to the southwest, at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. See what you can learn. I will do the same.
I'll be quick as I can.
Stay safe, my friend.
So like every assassination before it, we have to do these same missions over and over again, of
I
course.
trust you're here for the funeral. Or for Robert, rather. I've kept my eyes and ears open, but I've nothing to report. Things are quiet here. Perhaps Tariq has seen or heard something you can use. He's stationed not far from here. Go to him. See what knowledge he has.
I'm not sure why it's important that you only have 1 minute to get to where this guy is, and he'll just magically disappear. So this is going to be one of those Assassin's Creed games, if you haven't understood by now, that is the weirdest one out of them all, right? And that's not a bad thing, it's just it was the first of its time, it didn't have anything to go off against it in the past. So there's really not a lot of need for commentary because it's all explained in the movements that I do, and there's sometimes no way to explain certain things, you just have to do them, right? But in this case, I'm going to put a little bit of commentary on here just to give you some kind of something that you guys can listen to and whatnot as we completely fall and almost break our neck, which is pretty hilarious.
Excellent timing, Altair. I found something you'll find quite useful. Orders for Robert's guards. This map I've made will show you where he intends to station them. Put it to good use.
Take the map I've given you and see that the guards are placed accordingly. We'll be safe enough during the procession. It's the burial that worries me. Easy for our enemies to hide amongst the crowd.
If you're so concerned, why not post your own men? Search the site yourselves.
Our presence here has caused enough chaos. I can only imagine how the people would react, seeing Crusader soldiers marching across their holy ground.
Then perhaps you should not attend at all.
He was our friend and brother, and we will honor him as he passes from this world. You insult me by suggesting otherwise.
I'll post the men. I don't want trouble either.
Then stop trying to make it, and do as you've been asked.
Safety and peace, Master. Have you seen all the vile Templars in town? I have been ordered to kill as many as I can before the burial of your latest victim, Majd Udin. I am sure if it were your mission, it would be done in no time. I have learned much while looking for those Templars. I will share valuable information with you when you get back.
So these missions are, to me, just some of the funnest, right? The other missions that I told you that I really enjoyed were the ones where you have to follow one of the assassins and take him or take out anybody that comes up against him. But these ones I love too. It's just like assassinating in the street. And you got to watch out for these beggars because these beggars are so annoying. Like it's crazy. You can punch them, but you'll make too much rackets and it'll ruin the complete mission. So really, for the next 4 minutes, we're going to be running around trying to get these next 5 Templars, which is not difficult. It's actually pretty easy to do. I mean, because no one can see you assassinate anyone unless you make too much like ruckus right around where it happens. So you got to get out of there really, really quick and make sure he is not turned around. Of course, as you can see, you can do this all day long. Stay away from those guys because they just love to beat the crap out of you. Fortunately, they fixed a lot of it, although in almost every Assassin's Creed game that's in the last generation, you're going to get those kind of people that annoy you like that. So just kind of get used to it if you're new to the Assassin's Creed series. Otherwise, just keep continually and move and take out your Templars. Now, I'm not sure why these guys don't count as Templar targets, because there is a side activity you can do taking out Templars, but and those are always the ones that have the cross on their chest. But this is not part of that, so it doesn't actually count for it. So there's only one left, and then we can head back. I debated with myself whether or not I wanted to do 100% of Assassin's Creed 1, meaning like getting all the flags, getting all of the viewpoints and all that stuff, but I just felt, excuse me, I felt that it just was not needed in this game because it doesn't add anything to the actual game itself. Let me know in the comments if you like to see some of that for Assassin's Creed 2 and on. Just, you know, please let me know in the comments so that way I know to maybe think about that. I'm not sure if Assassin's Creed 2 is going to be the same way or if it'll be just like this.
Now why I joined our clan. Just to be in your presence is a gift from God. This is what I have learned about Robert's men. They are well prepared for battle. To fight them all at once would be unwise. Better to let them chase you for a while before striking back. But it is disrespectful for me to tell a master how he should behave in combat. Forgive me, master.
For what we believe in, there is no greater glory than this.
You've the scent of success about you, brother.
I've learned much about our enemy.
Share your knowledge then. Let us see what can be done with it.
Robert and his Templars walked the city. They've come to pay their respects to Majd-ud-Din. They'll attend his funeral, which means so will I.
What is this that Templars would attend his funeral?
I have yet to divine their true intentions, though I'll have a confession in time. The citizens themselves are divided. Many call for their lives. Still others insist that they are here to parley, to make peace.
Peace?
I told you. The others I've slain have said as much to me.
That would make them our allies. And yet we killed them.
Make no mistake, we are nothing like these men. Though their goal sounds noble, the means by which they'd achieve it are not. At least, that's what Al-Muallim told me.
So what is your plan?
I'll attend the funeral and confront Robert.
The sooner the better. Fortune favor your blade, brother.
Malik, before I go, there's something I should say.
Be out with it.
I've been a fool.
Normally I'd make no argument, but what is this? What are you talking about?
All this time, I never told you I was sorry. Too damn proud. You lost your arm because of me. Lost Qadar. You had every right to be angry.
I do not accept your apology.
I understand.
No, you don't. I do not accept your apology because you are not the same man who went with me into Solomon's temple. And so you have nothing to apologize for.
Malik.
Perhaps if I had not been so envious of you, I would not have been so careless myself. I'm just as much to blame.
Don't say such things.
We are one. As we share the glory of our victories, so too should we share the pain of our defeat. In this way, we grow closer. We grow stronger.
Thank you, brother.
Rest if you need to, Altair, that you might be ready for what lies ahead.
Fast forwarding memory to a more recent one.
We gather here to mourn the loss of our beloved Majd-ud-Din. taken too soon from this world. I know you feel sorrow and pain at his passing, but you should not. For just as we are all brought forth from the womb, so too must we all one day pass from this world. It is only natural, like the rising and the setting of the sun. Take this moment to reflect on his life and give thanks for all the good he did. Know that one day you will stand with him again in paradise.
Amen.
As you know, this man was murdered. We have tried to track his killer, but it has proved difficult. These creatures cling to the shadows and run from any who would face them fairly. But not today, for since one stands among us, he mocks us with his presence and must be made to pay. Seize him! Bring him forward, that God's justice might be done.
So the only thing I can tell you about this is you need to get out of here because there are archers all around, and you do not want to be where the archers are because they will slowly take your health down even if you're doing perfect on all of the combat. So get over to where archers aren't really next to you, and then that way you can start taking these people out. There's going to be a lot of enemies here, so again, get to know your counter system and use it to your advantage. Another good tactic to use when you're on this section is to throw everybody off. So you can grab people and then, of course, throw them off would be a lot faster, but I wasn't thinking then. I wanted to really, really work on counter timings. So again, as I said in the previous video, counter timing is specific towards what weapon that you have equipped, as your sword will have the most amount of time for you to be able to counter a specific action, whereas your hidden blade will have the least amount of time. Now, the trick with these things too is that sometimes Altair does a move where he counters, but he doesn't kill. And in that case, you need to continually hit the same guy, but sometimes too many enemies around will make it to where you won't lock on that guy anymore. It's an automatic thing, so unfortunately sometimes you see when I'm trying to take someone out, like right here, it won't go after that guy again. You know, he's too far away or something. But this was very, very unfortunate, was dropping down into here, because this added a lot more enemies that I didn't really need to have. So if you can, you know, be better than I am, which I'm sure you can, make sure you stay up here. Now this part can be a little crap because he takes so long to walk, but if you just remember to hold on to the what is the B button, that way you'll grab the ledge, then you should be fine. Now we're on this side because there's archers on the other side, so I want to stay away from the archers. This was definitely one of the longest and drawn-out fights that I did, but I wanted to show it to you in its entirety. Because the Assassin's Creed combat is so fun, and even when you get close to death, you know, your body is like, you know, like, come on, I can do this, I can do this. They come at you from all angles. And we are almost done. We got this. Never give up, never surrender. And now we use a little, I wouldn't say this is an exploit, but it's pretty funny. Just keep constantly hitting every time he comes up. And there you go.
I would see your eyes before you die.
It's a she.
I sense you expected someone else.
What sorcery is this?
No sorcery. We knew you'd come. Robert needed to be sure he'd have time to get away.
So he flees.
We cannot deny your success. You have laid waste to our plans. First the treasure, then our men. Control of the Holy Land slipped away. But then he saw an opportunity to reclaim what has been stolen, to turn your victories to our advantage.
Al-Muallim still holds your treasure, and we've routed your army before. Whatever Robert plans, he'll fail again.
Ah, but it's not just Templars you'll contend with now.
Speak sense.
Robert rides for Asa to plead his case that Saracen and Crusader unite against the Assassins.
That will never happen. They have no reason to.
Had, perhaps. But now you've given them one. 9, in fact. The bodies you've left behind, victims on both sides. You've made the Assassins an enemy in common and ensured the annihilation of your entire order. Well done.
Not 9. 8.
What do you mean?
You were not my target. I will not take your life. You're free to go, but do not follow me.
I don't need to. You're already too late.
We'll see. It was a trap.
I had heard the funeral turned to chaos. What happened?
Robert de Sable was never here. He sent another in his stead. He was expecting me.
You must go to Al-Muallim.
There's no time. She told me where he's gone, what he plans. If I return to Masyaf, he might succeed. And then, I fear we'll be destroyed.
We have killed most of his men. He cannot hope to mount a proper attack. Wait, did you say she?
Yes, it was a woman. Strange, I know. But that's for another time. For now, we must focus on Robert. We may have thinned his ranks, but the man is clever. He goes to plead his case to Richard and Salah ad-Din, to unite them against the common enemy. Against us.
Surely you're mistaken. This makes no sense. These two men would never...
Oh, but they would. And we have ourselves to blame. The men I've killed, men on both sides of the conflict. Men important to both leaders. Robert's plan may be ambitious, but it makes sense. And it could work.
Look, brother. Things have changed. You must return to Masyaf. We cannot act without our master's permission. It could compromise the Brotherhood. I thought you had learned this.
Stop hiding behind words, Malik. You wield the creed and its tenets like some shield. He's keeping things from us. Important things. You were the one told me we could never know anything, only suspect. Well, I suspect this business with the Templars goes deeper. When I'm done with Robert, I will ride for Masyaf that we may have answers. But perhaps you could go now.
I cannot leave the city.
Then walk amongst its people. Seek out those who served the ones I slew. Learn what you can. You call yourself perceptive. Perhaps you'll see something I could not.
I don't know. I must think on this.
Do as you must, my friend. But it's time I ride for Arsuf. Every moment I delay, our enemy gets one step ahead of me.
Be careful, brother.
I will be. I promise.
Alright, so now that we are finally moving on here, as you can see, you cannot go forward unless you take out every single enemy that you come across in each section. So with that being said, this is a heavy combat episode. And I debated whether or not to give you guys the cuts, but I think I prefer not cutting as much as I did in the first couple of videos. I've learned a lot since then. I've learned the fact that I think that people want to see the full fights so they know how to manage each and every fight. So sometimes it takes them a while to actually hit you. Now notice that we're getting fired from a guy with an arrow, so we're going to come over to where that guy is because he can take you down pretty quick. But if you get in a rut where no one is swinging at you, just start hitting people. Some of them will be able to counter and some of them will not. And then, of course, try to get the kill as soon as you knock him down, too. It's a lot easier to do when there's not as many enemies around. So we're pretty much going to go through a line of people here. There's going to be about 5 or 6 different groups of people of this size. So towards the end of the game, they really wanted to give you just throw as much at you as it could. You've got all your upgrades, so you're pretty much good to go as far as being a master assassin again. Now, we could have a lot more health because the more things that you do in the environments, the more side missions and things up your health. So we could have full 2 bars of health, but you don't really need it in this game. I would love to do a challenge to where I don't do like anything. I do the bare minimum and have the bare minimum health, or do a walkthrough where you don't take any damage in Assassin's Creed 1. I think that would be one hell of a challenge. Sometimes you have to entice them to hit you. You also got the good old dodge, but the dodge is really useless and doesn't work that well. The counter is obviously just the bee's knees when it comes to this game. Alright, so we've got 2 more fights. We've got this group, and then another group is going to come out. And like I said, it just goes on and on and on. So there's really no more commentary that's needed pretty much for this entire episode. But I will have some more commentary in the main boss fight of this episode, so hopefully you guys are enjoying it.
Je vais t'étouffer.
Oh, you! I beg of you, please!
Come no further. Hold a moment. It's words I bring, not steel.
Offering terms of surrender then. It's about time.
You misunderstand. It's Al-Mualim who sends me, not Salah ad-Din.
Assassin! What is the meaning of this? And be quick with it!
You've a traitor in your midst.
And he has hired you to kill me? Come to gloat about it before you strike? I won't be taken so easily!
It's not you I've come to kill. It's him.
Speak then! That I may judge the truth! Who is this traitor?
Robert de Sable.
My lieutenant!
He aims to betray.
That's not the way he tells it. He seeks revenge against your people for the havoc you've wrought in Acre. And I am inclined to support him. Some of my best men were murdered by some of yours.
It was I who killed them, and for good reason. Hear me out. William of Montferrat. He sought to use his soldiers to take Acre by force. Gagner de Naplouse. He would use his skills to indoctrinate and control any who resisted. Sabrand. He intended to block the ports, preventing your kingdom from providing aid. They betrayed you, and they took their orders from Robert.
You expect me to believe this outlandish tale?
You knew these men, better than I. Are you truly surprised to learn of their ill intentions?
Is this true?
My liege, it is an assassin that stands before us. These creatures are masters of manipulation. Of course it isn't true.
I've no reason to deceive.
Oh, but you do. You're afraid of what will happen to your little fortress. Can it withstand the combined might of the Saracen and the Crusader army?
My concern is for the people of the Holy Land. If I must sacrifice myself for there to be peace, so be it.
This is a strange place we find ourselves in. Each of you accusing the other.
There really is no time for this. I must be off to meet with Saladin and enlist his aid. The longer we delay, the harder this will become.
Hold a moment, Robert.
Why? What do you intend? Surely you do not believe him?
It is a difficult decision, one I cannot make alone. I must leave it in the hands of one wiser than I.
Thank you.
No, Robert, not you.
Then who?
The Lord. Let this be decided by combat. Surely God will side with the one whose cause is righteous.
If this is what you wish.
It is.
So be it. To arms, assassin!
Alright, so it's time for the last combat for this section. And again, we got to face off against a bunch of Templars and, of course, Desaad. Or Disable, whatever his name is, Robert. He won't really come at you until a little bit later. So just worry about taking out everyone else first. And that's pretty much it. It's really cool getting to meet some people from history, like King Richard and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons I love the Assassin's Creed series, is because of even though historically, obviously, it's inaccurate to a degree, but there's a lot of really cool people that you can come across from history, you know, especially in Assassin's Creed 2 with Leonardo da Vinci. Even though a lot of it doesn't make a lot of sense, it's still really fun to dive into that. So we'll just keep going with the combat, and yeah, so much fun.
The time for games is ended.
done then. Your schemes, like you, are put to rest.
You know nothing of schemes. You're but a puppet. He betrayed you, boy. Just as he betrayed me.
Speak sense, Templar. Or not at all.
9 men he sent you to kill, yes? The 9 who guarded the treasure's secret.
What of it?
It wasn't 9 who found the treasure, assassin. Not 9, but 10.
A 10th? None may live who carry the secret. Give me his name.
Oh, but you know him well. And I doubt very much you'd take his life as willingly as you've taken mine.
Who?
It is your master, Al-Mualim.
But he is not a Templar.
Did you never wonder how it is he knew so much? Where to find us, how many we numbered, what we aspired to attain?
He is the master of the assassins.
Oui, master of lies. You and I just 2 more pawns in his grand game. And now, with my death, only you remain. Do you think he'll let you live, knowing what you do?
I've no interest in the treasure.
Ah, but he does. The only difference between your master and I is that he did not want to share. Ironic, isn't it? That I, your greatest enemy, kept you safe from harm. But now you've taken my life, and in the process, ended your own.
Well fought, assassin! It seems God favors your cause this day.
God had nothing to do with it. I was the better fighter.
Ah, you may not believe in him, but it seems he believes in you. Before you go, I have a question.
Ask it then.
Why? Why travel all this way? Risk your life 1,000 times, all to kill a single man.
He threatened my brothers and what we stand for.
Ah, vengeance then?
No, not vengeance. Justice, that there might be peace.
This is what you fight for? Peace? Do you see the contradiction?
Some men cannot be reasoned.
Like that madman, Saladin.
I think he'd like to see an end to this war as much as you.
So I've heard, but never seen.
Even if he doesn't say it, it's what the people want. Saracen and Crusader alike.
The people know not what they want. It's why they turn to men like us.
Then it falls to men like you to do what is right.
Nonsense. We come into the world kicking and screaming. Violent and unstable. It is what we are. We cannot help ourselves.
No. We are what we choose to be.
Your kind. Always playing with words.
I speak the truth. There's no trick to be found here.
We'll know soon enough. But I fear you cannot have what you desire this day. Even now, that heathen Saladin cuts through my men and I must attend to them. But perhaps, having seen how vulnerable he is, he will reconsider his actions. Yes, in time, what you seek may be possible.
You were no more secure than him. Do not forget that. The men you left behind to rule in your stead did not intend to serve you for longer than they had to.
Yes. I am well aware.
Then I'll take my leave. My master and I have much to discuss. It seems that even he is not without fault.
He is only human, as are we all. You as well.
Safety and peace be upon you.
I said get up, goddammit! Listen!
Oh no.
Seems your assassin friends found us.
What?
How'd you do it, Desmond?
Hey, look, I don't know what you're talking about, but whatever's going on down there has got nothing to do with me.
They're here for you, and I sure as shit didn't invite them. What's the situation down there?
We're taking heavy fire.
Can you contain it? Or do I need to evacuate the prisoner?
Only 5 or 6. We've got them outnumbered. Couple of wounded.
God damn you, Desmond. You couldn't leave well enough alone.
I told you I had nothing to do with this. How would I even contact them? Telepathy? Come on.
Doesn't matter. They'll be dead soon enough. Here, have a listen.
Threat's been neutralized.
Looks like the cavalry won't be coming.
Dunno, Doc. We're freaking out a minute ago. Your little research facility not as secure as you thought it was? Worried they'll be back with more?
I don't think so, Desmond.
What Lucy here is trying to say is that there aren't any assassins left to come for you. We've been very busy this past year, hunting down your little enclaves, your desert communes and whatnot. I'm afraid you're on your own. Rest up, Mr. Miles. Tomorrow, we finish this.
I'm sorry, Desmond.
You mentioned the desert. Do you think...
They sent a team there, but the place was deserted. I don't know where your parents are, and I can't promise they're still alive. But I think they got away.
Thanks. Thanks for checking.
It's not as bad as it seems.
What are you talking about? They just killed, literally killed, my only chance of getting out of here. And then I find out the assassins are all but destroyed, and Christ, I still don't know what these people are planning. But I do know they plan to kill me when they're done. I am screwed, okay? What do you want me to do?
Just try and have a little faith. Have faith. Rest up, Desmond. You're gonna need the energy.
Wow, we just got dropped a huge bomb. Now, the funny thing is, if you actually look at her hands before this episode, she's not an assassin. So it only happens during this episode, and I tried. So thank you again for guys watching. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias, and of course, I will see you on the next one. Turn off your ad block. Love you. Peace out.